We used the spotting scope on the right to spot the mountain goats. Then we switched to the long lens camera on the left to take video or photos. McKendrick Mountain is in the background. By the 27th of January, the strong winds on the mountain have knocked all the snow from the trees at the edge of alpine. That exposes more balsam needles for the goats to feed on. The nanny herd moved upslope out of the trees for the first time in 14 weeks. We can see their tracks leading to open alpine. Now that the wind has hardened the snow, the nanny herd can walk on top of the snow. The wind has also scoured the snow thin in places, and the nanny herd can paw for forage. Meanwhile, the 3 billies are still in the trees. The billy that stayed with the nanny herd earlier has now joined the other 2 billies. The juvenile is to the right, and the 2 older billies are to the left. 6 days later, one of the older billies is pawing for forage in a large avalanche chute. We have not seen any avalanches yet. You can see that he can walk on top of the snow, at least most of the time. "11 days after the nanny herd traveled to the open summit, they have returned to the trees. Here we can see the nanny and kid, plus 1 more goat. The older nanny is at the bottom of the screen, and her kid follows on the right. Five days later, on February 12, we observed 4 goats of the nanny herd on a narrow shelf of rock. They are slowly working their way from one patch of forage to the next. The lead nanny makes way down slope. Within minutes, we noticed that one nearby billy started moving quicker than normal. He walked at a pace that indicated that he was alarmed. We looked around, and there was a snowmobiler standing at the top of the cliffs at this spot. He wore a black snowmobile helmet and black jacket. He was pointing down toward the goats and gesturing to someone out of sight. This is our first evidence that snowmobilers violated the voluntary closure. On February 22, we observed the 2 older billies at the south end of the mountain at the edge of alpine. One of the billies stands against a tree to reach balsam needles or arboreal lichens. Our herd count stays the same with a total of 8. We've completed 23 observation sessions since November 8 of 2021. Each session lasts between 1 and 2 hours. This is our first try at accounting for the identities of the McKendrick mountain goat herd over the last 3 years. Hopefully this will become more accurate with more observations.